Why are Israel and Iran, once close allies, now bitter enemies threatening the Middle East's stability? To understand, we must look back to when the Shah of Iran and Israel's leaders were strategic partners, united against common Arab adversaries and bound by shared interests. Before 1979, Iran was one of Israel's closest regional allies, supplying oil and receiving Israeli technology and military expertise. This pragmatic alliance was a non-Arab axis in a hostile region focused on containing pan-Arab nationalism. Everything changed with the 1979 Islamic Revolution. The Shah was overthrown, and Ayatollah Khomeini's new regime severed all ties with Israel, transforming the Israeli embassy into the PLO's. Iran's new leadership branded Israel the Little Satan, vowing to support the Palestinians and eliminate the Zionist entity. Overnight, decades of friendship turned into deep ideological hostility, setting the stage for decades of conflict. This rupture would shape the region for generations. After 1979, Iran avoided direct war with Israel, instead waging a shadow conflict through proxies and covert operations. Iran built the Axis of Resistance, a network of groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, arming and funding them to encircle Israel and keep it under constant threat. Hezbollah, Iran's most powerful proxy, has fought multiple wars with Israel and amassed a vast arsenal on its northern border. In response, Israel has targeted Iran's proxies and infrastructure with intelligence operations, cyber attacks, and targeted assassinations, like the Stuxnet virus that crippled Iranian nuclear centrifuges. The shadow war expanded into Syria, where Iran entrenched itself during the civil war, prompting hundreds of Israeli airstrikes to prevent Iranian military buildup. This ongoing war between wars keeps the region in a state of simmering conflict. Both sides operate in the shadows, but the consequences are deadly and far-reaching. The rivalry is a chess match, with each move escalating the stakes. The shadow war defines the modern Middle East. At the heart of the Israel-Iran conflict is the nuclear issue, a red line for Israel. Israel sees a nuclear-armed Iran as an existential threat, given Iran's missile capabilities and hostile rhetoric. Iran claims its nuclear program is peaceful, but secret sites and lack of transparency fuel Israeli and Western suspicions. Israel has pushed for crippling sanctions and waged a relentless campaign of sabotage and assassinations to delay Iran's nuclear progress. The 2015 Iran nuclear deal imposed restrictions, but Israel opposed it, arguing it only delayed Iran's ambitions. The U.S. withdrawal from the deal in 2018 led Iran to breach limits, bringing the region closer to crisis. The nuclear standoff remains a flashpoint, with both sides unwilling to back down. The risk of open war over this issue is ever present. For decades, Israel and Iran fought indirectly through proxies and covert attacks, careful to avoid direct war. That changed in 2024. An Israeli airstrike on Iran's consulate in Damascus killed top IRGC commanders, crossing a major line. Iran retaliated with an unprecedented barrage of over 300 drones and missiles launched directly at Israel. Israel and its allies intercepted nearly all projectiles, but the taboo against direct attacks was broken. Israel responded with a limited strike near Isfahan, demonstrating its reach but avoiding mass casualties. Both sides stepped back, but the old rules were gone. The risk of escalation is now higher than ever. Direct confrontation is no longer unthinkable. The region stands on a knife's edge. The Israel-Iran conflict is driven by ideology, power, and survival. Iran's revolutionary regime sees Israel as illegitimate. Israel sees Iran as an existential threat. Both seek regional dominance, turning Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen into battlegrounds. Proxy wars and nuclear fears fuel a cycle of violence and mistrust with no real channels for de-escalation. A full-scale war would devastate the region, draw in global powers, and disrupt the world economy. The 2024 direct exchanges showed how close catastrophe is. Peace remains distant, but it's the only alternative to a war no one can win. The stakes could not be higher.